Guys, about how mentorship works in Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, you have speakers who are new and you have speakers who are senior. So people who have done more speeches than you generally tend to have more experience, tend to know more about how to use the space, how to use your voice, your posture, so they will help you out. And a mentor is very different from a coach because a coach does not have a personal stake in your development. But in Toastmasters, we have mentors and you can choose your mentors that will help you. They will hone your skills and they will help you from the way you do your speeches to even how you develop your skills moving forward in your projects. And this speech is supposed to be about my mentor and about me being a prodigy. And this is about my mom. Because I spent a very long time thinking about different coaches that I've had. I used to play hockey and my coach was crazy and she would climb on the net and scream at me during the match and I was like, someone else. So then I thought my mom, because I feel that as a mentor, as a human being, there is no greater person than a child to be a prodigy, and I am who I am because of my mom. And so this was for you, Mama. Now, the first thing I learned from my mom was about guidance. A mentor is supposed to guide you in any capacity that you choose. They help you, they show you the way, they show you the ropes. And from my mom, I learned the guidance of family. So I'm a psychology student, and yesterday we were studying about this Harvard study done for 75 years. They followed about 200 men, and they followed them through the Second World War, and they charted their life, their careers, to see what is the answer to life's happiness. And guess what they found out? Family. Your quality relationships with the people in your life dictate your health in your future. And I thought, what a wonderful lesson, but guess what? My mom already taught me that. My mom is a Pakistani lady with 9 brothers and sisters who are very close. So having 9 brothers and sisters gave me 9 aunts and uncles. And all these aunts and uncles, they taught me the value of family and how important your interpersonal relationships are and how your quality of life gets affected by the quality of relationships you have. So I have seen my grandmother watch TV in the middle of 20 people and she would just ignore you. She was savage. Like if she's watching TV, she doesn't care who is there, you know, and I thought that's a wonderful way to grow old. And these small lessons of guidance, of relationships, were the first thing my mom gave to me, and they were the foundations of how I run my life today. So that's the first lesson, guidance. The second lesson is, to understand the second lesson, let me give you some background about my mom. My mom was badass. When she was in college, she was a state champion for athletics, and she was the president of the athletics team, which was, state champion means like about 3-4 times the size of Singapore. And she used to do javelin throws, runs, badminton, everything. I think she once won a bicycle race when she learned how to ride a bicycle the day before. I was like, that's not even real. So that's who she was. And being an athlete, she has this quality that I've never seen in another person. It's called grit. If you know an athlete, you know what I'm talking about. Grit is the ability to look at a problem, to stand in the middle of a solution and just dig your feet in. It's very difficult for me to understand what that was because I wasn't an athletics person, I was in arts, I was poetry, and I didn't go around running. So my mom taught me a lesson about grit. In life, I have faced many problems in school, outside school. You know, sometimes you just call your mom and you're like, hey, I don't know how to do this, how am I supposed to do this? And my mom will say, okay, we get it, you're having a problem. What can we do now? I was like, I want to come home. She's like, no, you cannot come home. My mom will never let me come home. She will be like, you stand there, you look at the situation, and you find a way. Or you stay there until the day is over. Because that's what grit is about. Grit. It comes from the root word of gritting, like grit your teeth, so just stand there and wait. And that lesson was very important to me in my life because all that I am today is through that small lessons of grit. Hey, I'm not doing well with my clubs, grit. My studies are hard, grit. I like this boy, grit. Okay. So I think that as, you know, sometimes when you grow up, it's such a privileged lifestyle. Like in Singapore, it's hard for people like me, as I feel, to learn this very important lesson in life because our lives are very easy. But when you learn the importance of grit in life, I think it takes you further than just a normal life. And that's the second lesson. And the third aspect of mentorship is communication. As a mentor, it's very important how you communicate with your mentee. And I'm a communication student as well, so I learned a lot about how you have to adapt your speaking to the audience. If you're speaking to a 2-year-old, you talk to them like a 2-year-old. If you're speaking to a 50-year-old, you talk to them about topics of a 50-year-old. I think this is a very simple concept, but people tend not to understand it very well. But my mom, she communicates really well. And you know what, my mom is my friend. She's not my mom, she doesn't nag, she doesn't this or she doesn't that, she's just a friend. The older we grow, the more she has become our friend. So we talk to her about boys. I love to party, and she's from a very traditional, we're from a very traditional family, but my mom is cool. Like, I will be like, Mom, I'm going for exchange, I'm going to party in America for 3 months. She's like, okay, take care, bye. I'm like, all right, Ma. And I think that's very important, that you have an open communication with your parents as well as like your mentor. And without said communication, I don't think I would be as open or my personality would be as developed had my mom told me to remain quiet, because that's something my mom never did. Our personalities are very different, my mom and I. She's more reserved, but I am not. But she always says, whatever you need to say and however it needs to come out, say it. And that's something I really appreciated her for. So these are the 3 lessons: guidance, communication, and grit. Thank you everyone for listening.